guys, welcome to my channel, Delightful Life. Today I want to show you how to make lanyards, two different ways depending on what you're needing it for, using ribbon, and it's a very cheap, quick, easy way to make a lanyard. You can finish it in under 5 minutes, honestly, as long as you have a sewing machine. So everything you need here is from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to show you two different ways to make it. So this would be the first way. And this way, when you're sewing it and it folds down, it's gonna look like this instead of showing like a white side, so it sits around like this. This is the preferred way to make a lanyard. And then the second way is to have both of your ribbon like with the print facing out. So when you put it on though, it's gonna sit 9 times out of 10 like this, or it'll kind of look a little funny. But you can make it either way, and I'm going to show you both ways today in this video. This one uses a clamp like this to hook onto your ID or whatever you're needing your lanyard for. So you simply push it through like this, hook it, and then it'll work. Now if this clamp does not work, like maybe the hole is too small for this, then you can add a jump ring and then hook the jump ring to this to remove it and then add it back. So let's get started. To make these lanyards, you're going to need some swivel snap hooks. I got 2 of them since I'm showing you 2 different versions today. Some 7/8 inch ribbon from Hobby Lobby. This is $2.99. I got it 40% off from Hobby Lobby. I think it's every other week they throw that sale. And then I love my Fiskars fabric scissors. They are phenomenal. They're sharp. They cut so easy. So each of these swivel snap hooks, I think they're $1.99, so $2 the ribbon, even on full price is $3. So you're looking at $5, but you're not even using all this ribbon for this project. Next, we're going to cut 37 inches of ribbon. My mat here only goes to 24 inches, so I'm going to measure 24 inches and then come back and measure another 13 and cut the ribbon so we have an even 37 inches. And we're going to do this twice. But first, we're going to show you version 1. The next thing that we're going to do is get a lighter and burn the edges of our ribbon. That way it never comes unraveled. So we're going to do this to both of them. After we burn the edges, I'm going to open up the package for the swivel snap hook. If you order from somewhere other than Hobby Lobby, like an online store, 9 times out of 10 they're not in a package. So you can just slide that on through the ribbon. Once we slide the snap hook through it, we're going to line up our edges and have the basketballs touching each other and sew at about a 1/4 inch inseam. Now that we have our design side together with the white side on the outside, we're going to sew the 1/4 inch inseam. I use a straight stitch for this. The length is on 2, and you're going to back stitch at the beginning and the end to make sure that it does not become unraveled. Once you finish your stitch, you're going to cut off the extra string and then pull the hook to the seam that we just sewed. You want the swivel hook to be in the middle of the seam. By doing this, we're actually going to hide the seam from showing so it doesn't get caught on your neck so you don't feel it. It's just going to make it prettier. And once you put the hook inside the seam, make sure that the seam has one tab on either side. We're going to sew that next seam. Make sure that you back stitch at the beginning and the end. The easiest way to sew next to the hook is to line the edge of where you're sewing to the inside piece of the hook, and it'll give you a nice pretty line. Once you finish that, you're going to cut off the extra string again, and you have your first version of a lanyard complete. Now, my personal favorite is the second version, which is coming up next. Now, there's nothing different about the beginning steps of making version 2. We're still cutting 37 inches of ribbon using the exact same method. We're going to burn the edges of the ribbon with a lighter. We're going to open up the package of our swivel hook. Where we sew is where it changes at for this version. So how in version 1 we had the design facing each other and the whites on the outside. Where it differs is we're going to put a white side touching a fabric side. So it's going to have basketballs for this design in particular on the outside for both of them. So we're sewing a design side to a white side. I didn't put the swivel hook on in the first portion of the video to show you that, say you forget to do that initially, before you sew, make sure you put the hook in there. We're going to sew a 1/4 inch inseam as well. Make sure that you backstitch at the beginning and the end, just like in version 1. That doesn't change for any of this. And then you cut off the extra string. This part is the same as version 1. We're going to move the swivel hook to our seam and put the inseam one tab on either side to hide that seam from being viewed by anyone, and also so it doesn't poke you while you're wearing your lanyard. So this is where it differs in design. You can see how you can see the basketballs on either side. Next, we're going to sew as close to the edge as possible with a back stitch at the beginning and the end. Once you have done that, you're going to cut off the extra string and your lanyard is complete. You can also use any color thread that you want that goes with your ribbon color. I use black because there was black lines in the basketballs. Alright guys, that's it. Now you know how to make a lanyard 2 different ways depending on which style that you want, using ribbon and a swivel snap hook. And that's it, plus a sewing machine, and you can have you a lanyard in 5 minutes or less. Please subscribe and follow my channel for more.